thread in a tapestry, though its color brightly shine, can never see its purpose in the pattern of the grand design. And the stone that sits on the very top of the mountain's mighty face, does it think it's more important than the stones that form the base? So how can you see what your life is worth, or where your value lies? You can never see through the eyes of man. You must look at your life through heaven's eyes.
Good morning, Discovery, and a special good morning to Mike Barrett. What you just listened to was Through Heaven's Eyes from the Prince of Egypt, and that comes with a very special hello from Mike's family.
Well, good morning, Mike, and thanks to my crazy, wonderful family. It's great to be back in space again, and wish everybody could see what we're seeing through our eyes up here, too, as well. And look forward to working with you today.
Thanks, Mike, and congratulations from all of us down here to you and your crewmates for making it to orbit. Hey, Steve, we're getting ready to do our handover down here from Orbit 3 to Orbit 1. You guys can start your day. But also wanted to let you know we're having a very nice ceremony down here for Mike Marsh, who's celebrating his 119th shuttle mission that he's working as GC here in the White Vicar.
Well, Mike, first of all, you know, it's a great milestone for you to celebrate all these missions you've done. According to my information, you have participated in supporting every single shuttle mission we have ever flown, which starts all the way back to STS-1. I won't tell you where I was when STS-1 launched, but congratulations on working all of those as a ground controller for shuttle ops. And Mike, on behalf of the crew, we really, really appreciate all your hard work down there. You know, seeing your faces when we walk in there and knowing you guys are working it makes us feel real confident up here. So congratulations to you, and I know that you wouldn't be as big of a success if you didn't have a great family standing behind you. So congratulations to all of you as well.
First of all, let me say this is a great honor. I'm very pleased to be here and be a part of this program. And this ceremony is just overwhelming. My family's here and all of management, and I am just truly overwhelmed. I love this business. I love working here, and I love working with all of you, everybody here on the ground and in the air. Thank you very much.
You bet, Mike, and again, congratulations to you on being there for the program. You know, you go around this program and you see people everywhere that have been working in this program for many years. Not too many worked it from STS-1, but there's still quite a few out there that have done that as well. And you know, I'm just looking out the window here, going over the Earth, like right over the middle of Africa right now, and thinking about how cool it is to be up here doing this. But what's even more impressive to me about the whole spaceflight business is when you have a large team like we have doing something incredibly complex, and most people don't understand how complex it really is, and yet we pull it off successfully year after year, mission after mission, and all the stuff that you guys do on the ground to make it all seem seamless to us. So it's a good once in a while, I think, for all of us to kind of step back and think about what we're really doing, and because we're a set of very few people in the world that ever get to do this.
Thank you very much.
This is the flight deck, looking there on the far right-hand side at the pilot, Eric Bowe. The crew is getting ready to conduct a course correction burn. This will adjust Discovery's velocity by 10.3 feet per second. The crew's had a very busy morning so far. They've got an even busier day ahead as they get ready to not only conduct a couple of these course correction burns, but also this orbiter boom sensor system survey today. They will start off with the right wing, the starboard wing, then move that orbiter boom sensor system over to the nose cap, and then finally wrap up with the port wing on the left-hand side. All of these images will be downlinked to the team here in Houston. They'll take a look at them over the next couple of days to make sure that Discovery's thermal protection system, and namely those forward portion of the wings and that reinforced carbon that's on the front part of the nose cap has fared well during yesterday's launch. 10 seconds to go. Discovery's orbital maneuvering system engine is burning. You saw the slight shaking there of the camera as we take a look at the pilot, Eric Bowe. There on the right-hand side of the cockpit inside Discovery, watching over this engine as it burns down.
Good burn, Discovery, no further trim required.
Copy.
Crew adjusting the camera there on board the flight deck of Discovery. You see Al Drew there on the far left-hand side. Steve Lindsay there in close-up as he gets the camera secured back to that portion of the flight deck. Now that this engine burn has been concluded successfully, the crew is going to turn their attention over to this orbiter boom sensor system survey. This is going to take about 6 hours to complete, which will take up the majority of the crew's day. You see Nicole Stott there floating through. At this point, the shuttle's robotic arm is still hovering above where it is normally stowed on the left-hand side of the shuttle's payload bay. That's the port side. They're going to steer it here in a few minutes to reach over and grab onto this OBSS, which is a 50-foot long attachment that goes on the end of that robotic arm. They will lift it up out of its cradle, perform a quick checkout to make sure that it's powered up. All the different cameras and sensors on the end of it are operating as expected.
We've got IME Star of Opportunity line coming up in the CDR column. Hold off on that for a moment until we get good stars. We'll see what the maneuver brings us. And we're still with you on the flight deck, enjoying the view. The KFX card, we've got the images, so you go to remove it.
Okay, copy all that, Steve.
The very tip end of the shuttle's robotic arm there at the top center portion of your screen. There at the bottom is the target for that arm. That is the end of the orbiter boom sensor system attachment.
Houston, we're on page 7-4 of PRS. We think we have everything configured correctly before we grapple, but it's at the top of the page. If you'd give us the go, if you see the APC in a good config.
Discovery Houston PDRS, Eric. PDRS book page 7-4 on the top. Those three checks have been confirmed by us, so you go to continue.
With the arm in motion now as the crew gets ready to attach the robotic arm onto the orbiter boom sensor system to get this survey underway. As Discovery flies about 150 miles above Africa, you can see that the orbiter boom sensor system attachment that's on the end of the shuttle's robotic arm has been lifted up out of the right side cradle of Discovery's payload bay. It is now in what they call the hover position. They will begin by taking a look at the starboard wing first. That's the right wing. They're also going to be taking a look at some of the umbilical areas which the shuttle is attached to during the final moments of countdown and become released after liftoff. Those are toward the tail of the shuttle. While Discovery's crew is getting this orbiter boom sensor system survey underway, there's a special guest here inside Mission Control right now. Astronaut Tim Copra is in here talking with the flight directors, including Brian Lunny, And back at the back is Tony Sicacci, who will be the entry flight director, as well as Norm Knight. Copra is going to be on console during the spacewalks that Al Drew and Steve Bowen will be conducting. There's 2 of them that will take place during the middle portion of this mission. And since Copra was very familiar with the procedures, he helped write them. He's going to be on console in the station flight control room, helping the crew work through all the different paces of these 2 spacewalks.
Houston Discovery, how do you like this view?
1/2 crosshair down, please.
1/2 crosshair down, inward.
And Discovery Houston for CDR. No hurry, but we've got a special guest in the room that would like to pass on greetings.
He's getting himself prettied up. Well, he'll be up in a second, Steve Ray.
Okay, yeah, it's tell him it's MS2 version 1.
Okay, we'll put less effort into the makeup then.
Hey, Steve, Tim, I just wanted to tell you guys you all had an awesome launch, and we were all very proud of you down here.
Great to hear your voice, Tim. I wish you were here because I'd send you on the hunt for the overlay that I'm missing. But anyway, appreciate the good words. It was a great launch. Can't tell you how much we wish you were here with us as well.
Well, I'm sure you know that I feel the same way, but I definitely feel like I'm there in spirit, and I'm especially looking forward to seeing Steve and Al go out the door and do great work.
So are we. Thank you very much, Tim, and we really appreciate you being willing to go on console and help us out during the EVAs.
My pleasure. Enjoying watching you guys. Keep up the great work.
Hi, Timmy. It's Nicole. I just want to say I love you, and like Steve said, we wish you were here, but we are also very happy that you'll be supporting us from the ground, and I look forward to talking to you on EVA days.
Love you back, and it's going to be a great couple of EVAs.
Hey, Tim, it's Mike. We missed your booming zero-G laughter up here, and I'll have to tell you that you're here in a little bit more than spirit, but we'll have to explain that when we get back.
Well, I'm looking forward to that, Mike. It's great to hear your voice.
All right, man. You keep watching us, and we'll try to do our best for you and make you proud with the plan that you came up with.
Sounds good. Take care of those elements, moving them with the arm.
Let us know if we're screwing up.
Will do.
This afternoon. All right, Discovery. It just goes to show you have a 7-person crew. They're just not all up there with you.
Absolutely.
This is Mission Control Houston. We want to step away from the OBSS inspection for a few minutes and show you this live video on board the International Space Station. The crew is opening up the Kepler automated transfer vehicle. It arrived at the station yesterday, docked shortly before Discovery's liftoff. But it is bringing up several tons of supplies for the crew. It is installed on the back end of the Russian segment, the Zvezda service module. But the crew is busy opening it up and going inside. They've put on some masks a few minutes ago. This is standard protocol. Anytime they open up a new piece of the station or any kind of vehicle that greets them, all that is to do is to protect them from any sort of dust or debris that could come loose during the launch and ascent of that vehicle. And of course it would float up in the weightlessness of space, but they've cleared the environment. Alexander Clary there is preparing the hatch in between the two vehicles. That ATV was used this morning to reboost the station's altitude by 1.1 statute miles. That took place at 4:33 a.m. Central Time. The crew's going to be very busy not only with this STS 133 mission, but also unloading all the different cargo inside ATV.
Like, how is it?
Over the next several days and weeks.
Yeah, it's fine.
Smells okay?
Felix Krupochka there.
One more sample.
Okay.
Formaldehyde is not present. What about carbon monoxide?
Okay. So good to check for everything.
huge. It is totally huge. What do you think, fella?
Отвечаю, взглядим. Есть пробы на ЦО и на фототекит, и изменение цвета шкалы нет.
There's Expedition 26 Commander Scott Kelly there inside. You get a sense of exactly how big this ATV actually is. It's enormous.
This place is giant.
This is all Katie stuff. And when is this?
28 maybe?
Doc?
June?
Maybe 5 months?
Probably 6 months. Okay, if I remember correctly, this guy goes here.
Oh, sorry.
На переходнике становится. Так, ОБС отключено. Отключено идет. Схема моторизации. Подключить перемычки. Рисунок 2.5. 2.5. Перемычки. Так, одна перемычка идет. ФПП.
This is Mission Control, Houston. Once again, we're watching playback from the Expedition 26 crew as they opened up the ATV that docked with the station yesterday. They are already busy getting everything moved out of it and get all the cargo unloaded and stored inside the space station complex.
Houston Discovery for EVA.
Are we talking EVA on air to ground too, guys?
Yes, we are.
Okay, go ahead.
EMU checkout prep complete and moving on to EMU checkout.
Copy. Thanks, Steve.
While this survey of the orbiter boom sensor system in the left wing of Shuttle Discovery continues, the crew inside rapidly moving through the steps to get the 2 space suits that Al Drew and Steve Bowen will be using checked out. Those are going to be moved across the hatchways after docking tomorrow. As we take a live look outside of Discovery's payload bay, taking a look at that robotic arm with the orbiter boom sensor system attached at the end of it, the crew is steadily working through this port wing survey.
Commander Steve Lindsay and pilot Eric Bowe are now maneuvering the robotic arm to put the OBSS back onto the starboard sill of the payload bay and complete today's operation. This view comes from a camera on the robotic arm, on the elbow of the arm. Looking down the forearm, you can see the end effector where it is has a grip on the end of the OBSS. And as Lindsay and Bowe get it lined up, they'll be lowering the OBSS back into a set of cradles along that starboard side of the sill. Today's inspection all went without any hitches. There were no reports of any problems with the systems as the inspection was conducted to include the starboard wing, the port wing, and the nose cap, as well as the OMS pods and associated areas, the heat shield tiles, and to at least the untrained eye, there was no indication seen of any areas of the thermal protection system that had suffered any damage.